What is it like to live with anorexia? Well, it's hard to put into words how hard it is. It is soul destroying. It rips you from the inside out and it destroys your life. It takes you away from everything important to you, friends, family, school. It makes you so ill, to the point where you could die. And there's no way of getting around that, because in the end you will die. It ruins your health. Your face just goes like a ghost. Your hair begins to fall out. Your skin, nails, everything just becomes brittle and just ruined. Your heart will struggle. You will, in every step you take, you'll feel like you're going to faint. Even though you'll deny it because you don't want to admit that this is making you ill, because you want it so bad. You love it. You don't want it to leave you because it's the only thing you have in your life that you feel you can control. But that's the problem. You don't have control. The control is taken away from you. When anorexia comes into your life, it rips you from your control, because it tells you to do stuff so harmful to your body. But you listen because you feel like that's the control. I'm the one that has the control over what I'm doing to my body. But you don't. And the more you give in to the voice, to the thoughts, to urges, the less control you have, and the more permission you give it to ruin you, to take away your control. And it's sad because so many people believe that anorexia loves them. She's helping you to move on with your life, to make you happy. And that's why a lot of people do it, just to be happy. But you're never going to be happy with it. And the only way to be happy, to find happiness, is to recover, to beat it, to tell it to fuck off, and move on with your life. It is a very hard process, a long hard process. And the first step is to admit to yourself that you want recovery, that this is the only way I can be happy, and admit to yourself that you do have a problem. Because that's the first step, really, is admitting it to yourself and going to search for help, whether that's going to talk to a friend or family member, going to see a GP. But you've got to be careful, because if it gets to a certain point, you have no choice in the matter. They'll put you in hospital, and you don't want to go down that route. It's not fun. You are isolated from the world, and you are forced to gain weight, forced to eat, which is good because it's keeping you alive, but it doesn't do any good for your mental health at all. And if you think you go into hospital you can still refuse to eat, that's not the case, because they'll tube feed you and there's no way of dodging it. And yeah, and you will be getting help and support, which is the good thing about it. But I guess being at home with your family and friends and loved ones will be so much better than spending your life in and out of hospitals with people you don't know, staff looking after you, telling what you can and cannot do, not being able to go out when you want to. So I don't really know how to explain anorexia. It's just evil. It's very evil, and it takes too many innocent people, and too many innocent people die from it, and no one deserves to have it. No one. even my worst enemy who used to bully me and make me miserable, or the boys that done hurtful stuff to me, I wouldn't wish this on them. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. That's how bad it is. I used to cry myself to sleep every night, being scared that that would be my last night to live, because I just felt like I was dying every day. I've seen my family go through so much because of me, and ripping them apart. They're just constantly worried about me, constantly worried that I'm not going to wake up in the morning, that I won't be here anymore. I've seen them cry. I've seen my dad cry, and that never happens. And my friends just didn't know what to do. They were seeing me wasting away and they couldn't do anything about it. They couldn't stop me. They didn't know how to help me. I felt like I didn't have a heart anymore. It felt like my whole body had been taken over by a demon, and I couldn't stop it. I was too weak to stop it, and at the time I didn't want to stop it. I was so comfortable where I was, hiding away inside myself, destroying myself, which is what I felt like I deserved. And when I first went into hospital and everyone was talking about recovery will make you happy, I didn't believe it. I just done what they wanted me to do to get out, to do exactly the same as why I got in there in the first place. I lost weight and I ended up back in, and I didn't believe them when they said they'll put me back in, but they did. And things just got worse from there, because when you're inside a unit like that, you don't see the future, you can't see the future. You feel so trapped and alone, and you don't know who to turn to. You've got so many people around you to support you, but you still feel so alone. And then you want anorexia more because you don't want to be alone, you don't want to feel alone. So you allow anorexia to take over your mind again. So yes, you're not alone. And spending 2 years in a hospital and away from everything has not been fun. And why should I let anorexia beat me and continue to take me away from everything? I don't. All of you are worth so much more than that. Everyone is worth so much more than that. Everyone is worth happiness and love, and everyone deserves help, and no one deserves anorexia. This isn't a choice. Anorexia is not a choice. It's an illness, a mental illness. It just takes over you and you can't stop it, no matter how much you try. But you can start beating it and you can start recovering. And some days it seems impossible, and some days you don't want to give it up. But if you think about all the harm it's doing to you, and then, well, it's all about small steps really. And the first step is to ask for help. Go to your GP, go to anyone that you feel comfortable with and ask for help. It's just so hard to explain anorexia and how it affects me and how it affects everyone, because there's just so much it affects. and it ruins everything. I know I keep saying that, but that's one word that it's easy to describe because it just takes everything. And you can't get those years back. And anorexia needs to be beaten. All of you need to get help, because you won't be happy with this, and if you keep on, you won't even be alive with this. I know a lot of you are probably thinking, I don't want to be alive, I don't want to live, I'd rather die. But there's so many people out there that need you to keep living, need you to keep fighting, because this world needs you in it. Otherwise you wouldn't be born if this world didn't want you. So why should you let this one illness make you get to that point where you don't want to live? I know how that feels, where you feel so helpless that the only way you think of is to die. Because living is scary, life is scary, but it does get better, and things will start changing slowly, and the more we all fight together to beat this, the less people it will take, and the less people that will lose their lives because of this. So yeah, the only thing I can say is just keep fighting. Don't let anorexia beat you. And if you need any questions, if you've got any questions that you need answering, or anything that I can do to help support you with, then don't be afraid to ask, and just remember to keep fighting and don't give up, and stay happy. Bye.